We came into the LEVEN project a little later than we would for other projects. So Wellbrook took over from the previous incumbent. So some of the building build and layout had been completed prior to us coming on board. However, we did have the opportunity to reconfigure the public spaces so that we could optimize the space to ensure it was revenue generating, and we were very keen to create a real vibe and an energy in the public spaces. So the initial plans were really to have it as a pure reception area. So we reworked it so that it could incorporate a bar, a cocktail lounge, space for co-working and lounging. So it was a very energetic, welcoming shop storefront to the brand, if you like. And of course, with that, there's opportunities to generate revenue through coffee sales, cocktails, F&B sales as well, and also efficiencies when it comes to staffing as well, because the team at the front desk not only make a great Negroni and a martini, but also they'll can check you in and handle those kind of back office components as well. So it's a very efficient way to use the space. And the bedrooms were already completed in terms of layout. So certainly learning for future projects is that we're very keen and highly aware that it's imperative to have very considerate planning in terms of how the bedrooms are laid out and how the building is optimized to maximize the number of bedrooms within the space to make sure that the yields are there, of course. So each of our projects, we're obviously very keen to make sure that we can really optimize the layout of the building to get in the maximum number of bedrooms in an efficient way, to make sure that makes a very viable project for owners. Mm-hmm. LEVEN also is a great example of kind of touching the three key focus areas that Wellbrook is focused on. So we co-own the LEVEN brand, so we have a view to expanding and rolling out that brand nationally and globally within time. We created that brand. The second component is we worked with the owners of the building under a technical services agreement, so we handled all of the pre-opening for the hotel to get the hotel open the doors to our first guests. And then the third component is that we operate the hotel under a hotel management agreement. So those three components are the key focus areas for Wellbrook. So in terms of learning, that will be our optimum scenario for all other projects. However, we do have other projects on the go where we're handling one of those three components or a combination of those. So there is opportunity for us to tailor our services based on the particular project. Other key learnings for LEVEN is of course the importance of getting the culture right from the beginning, and certainly we take culture very seriously at Wellbrook, and that's a real key component of the hospitality experience, is ensuring that the culture is really robust and reflective of our values. So we took pleasure in recruiting the team from the early days from unexpected places. A lot of our team don't come from hotel backgrounds. They have experience in other industries, and they can use those skills to maximum use within our business. So and the interesting thing about LEVEN Manchester is that it's an unexpected location, and when we initially shared that we were opening here, it raises some eyebrows, and really that's a huge opportunity for us. And we are actively seeking other locations that are maybe a little off-piste or unexpected in major cities or locations, and that's what really excites us, is finding those opportunities that other people may not be looking at. So absolutely that's something that we'll continue to do for our future projects. Lifestyle hotels are, or should be, evolving with the needs and desires of today's consumers. And when you look at the behaviors of Gen X and Gen Z, they are very different to the generations that preceded them. So looking at those demographics, and of course those are the folks who are spending money in our businesses, starting really now and into the future. It's just making sure that we understand their behaviors and their expectations for us as business owners and brand creators. And some key learnings I think that we should all take on board is the importance of having depth and integrity and a message and a sense of purpose in terms of the brand. Why do we exist? What is our voice? What do we have to say? Why are we here? And understanding that, and then clearly articulating it to the consumers. So it's not enough nowadays to open a lifestyle hotel or a boutique hotel and rest just on the design, and again that design may be within the eye of a specific small group of people, but is that design right? And that's something we can expand on another time perhaps. But the ensuring that the brand and the business really has something to say that resonates with the consumer, and consumers now, and all of us do this. We peer-to-peer references and peer-to-peer recommendations are increasingly important. So we've got to really connect with the people who are in our businesses so that they can have an emotional connection with their time, with the time within those spaces, and then of course share those experiences with their peers, friends and family, and of course that spreads, and that's how you really build a robust base for your business. So understanding those components, I think, is critical for the lifestyle market, and getting those right. And of course that in turn then informs the design, because how are those spaces being used? Are people just coming in and out quickly, or do they want to hang out and spend time in those spaces? And if that's the case, then how are we designing them? Are we looking at how's the furniture feeling, and how do you immediately feel within the spaces? And then of course that lends itself to particular fabrics or finishes, how are surfaces affecting sound quality, how is lighting affecting how you feel. So all of those absolute details should be informing the good lifestyle experience as we continue to to evolve the sector. Also, I think it's important just to reflect a little bit, of course, considerably on the last few years, and how that's changed a lot of our behaviours. And there's very much a desire for spending more time in outdoor spaces. So I think projects that have outdoor spaces are highly desirable, and finding ways to bring the outside in as well. So whether that's with much more greenery and just having more of a sense of nature within the spaces. We'll see more of that in the future, and also that links in, of course, very closely with sustainability. And of course, it's a very weighted word, and I think we need to hold it very carefully in terms of how we run our businesses and how we talk about that. But in terms of the lifestyle experience, ensuring that sustainability comes across right from the beginning. So is there an opportunity to adapt an existing building as opposed to starting off with a new build, and then how does again sustainability weave into all the decisions that are being made, right from the efficiency of the building through to again fabrics and materials, are they sustainably sourced, are they natural, are we avoiding products that have plastic? And so many fabrics, for example, have plastic in them. So are we making decisions that are truly sustainable? And then again, helping our guests to enjoy the experiences once the hotel is open, but in such a way that again is sustainable. So making sure that we are efficient with lighting, water usage, energy, and so forth. So it's not just for the benefit of the business. Consumers are actively looking for businesses to play their part in sustainability. So we'll see that continue to be a really strong vein with lifestyle moving forward.
So obviously we're here today in LEVEN Manchester. We chose Manchester as the first city for LEVEN because we felt it was just it had all of that offering to offer in terms of unique city offering, convention centre, United and football and everything. So all of those dynamics, and obviously then the neighbourhood had ample to offer as well. In terms of next steps, I think London is very much a market we're aspiring to enter into. We're looking for the right asset, I suppose, that would lend the storytelling from Manchester to London. Then other major cities in the UK, be it Glasgow, Edinburgh, and then some maybe provincial areas, maybe Bristol and Cardiff, those sort of areas. In terms of brand fit as well, we feel that Leven would fit very much well in terms of coastal towns. And I think the flexibility of the brand and the brand offering, we can kind of bring that element of living and the culture that we have here at Leven. We could bring that very much to coastal living as well, and see that dynamic grow even further. So there's a number of areas there that we feel that there's flexibility within the brand. In terms of asset and how that asset looks, I think under the Wellbrook umbrella, we're very flexible in terms of what we look at and how we look at assets. If we feel an asset is presented to us and may not necessarily fit within the Leven brand values, we would very much look at what could we do with that within our organisation. We're very lucky that our team at Wellbrook are very knowledgeable in opening hotels. I think in total we've opened about 30 assets and 30 properties amongst us. And we've European destinations, we've done the US as well. So we're very much open to looking at any opportunity in terms of assets, in terms of location, but also in terms of asset size. We would look at ideally anything from an 80 key count up to 250. As well as that, we also look at other sort of dynamics, and that is we've created a private members club brand in terms of in London. We've also looked at co-living and co-working opportunities as well. So we've developed that sort of brand pillars, I suppose, and we can really sort of add all of those together in terms of when we're looking at different assets.
Things have started a little bit to slow down in terms of investors looking for assets that they are a bit more selective in what they're doing because of construction costs and then the lending and then now the interest rates. So they're all holding back a little bit. But what they are being is that if there's an opportunity out there, they're willing to invest in it. In terms of, I think because of COVID, everybody was expecting a glut of distressed properties to be on the market, but that has not come through yet. And I think there's a few of these guys, the funds, that are looking at properties now coming through because of the energy prices and then the the interest rates going up. I think there could be. The government helped in terms of COVID, and that's why I think we didn't see a lot of the distressed assets out there. But in terms of the energy bills, it's just shocking, the price increases. And as some of these hotels have got fixed term prices and they're going to come out of it, I think this will then make it more difficult for them to operate or actually have the same margins they were expecting. So there might be some price corrections that should be happening, because at the moment it's a little bit too expensive in terms of the properties and the prices. Hopefully, or not, this will correct itself and then we will see that coming through.